Hello, good morning to you, and many thanks for joining us. You're watching Galaxy today, coming to you from Galaxy Television. We are counting down to about, let's say, 72 hours or less to the rescheduled general elections, and we'll be focusing on that with a quick mention on security and all in between to ensure that the polls are credible, free, and fair come Saturday, February 23. My name is Justin Akadonya. I welcome you once again.
Okay, yes, and one morning to you. I'm Uche Onyeko, like you rightly said, we're still looking at elections coming up this Saturday. But today we'll be looking at curbing elections and violence. And the way we do it on the show, you can send SMS via the numbers that will be written on the screen. Like Justin always said, do not call, just an SMS. And of course, on the social media handles, you can as well as tweet at us or talk about the topic using the hashtag Galaxy today. A warm welcome as we're going to today's topic. Okay, so Justin, today is Wednesday and we have like 3 days, less than 72 hours to the big day.
Yes, we do. And Nigerians are still hopeful that the elections will not be postponed once again because they're really eager to go exercise their civic responsibility. We have guests here in Lagos, in Kano, and of course in Oyo State will be taking and filling their polls as we progress on the show. And but before we do that, we'll start with Ken in a moment. But let's just take highlights of the president's security meeting with some governors and the IGP, and we'll go to Ken in a bit. Do join us again.
Today, the members of the security community and intelligence community came and briefed Mr. President on the security situation in the country as a result of the postponement of the election. And we've deliberated on the consequences and came up with the resolve to further provide adequate security within the country so that the electorate will come out and cast their vote without any fear of molestation. So every Nigerian is encouraged to come out on the election day and cast his or her vote without any fear of molestation.
All right, we'll take that report much later as we progress on the president's security meeting of yesterday. All right, here in Lagos, we have a political public affairs analyst, and of course, he is also a chartered accountant, among other feathers to his cap. Many thanks for joining us, Lester Wilcox.
Well, it's nice to have you. Nice to be on this set again.
It's
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've missed you on the set.
While.
All right.
Okay, so let me say Happy New Year to those that have seen me on Galaxy.
For a very long time. All right, Alexa, we'll talk to you in a bit, but let's go to Kano. We understand that they are standing by. We have the acting director of the National Orientation Agency in Kano State in the person of Garba Wada Doka. We'll talk to him and let's fill the polls of the people from Kano State and know what we can do as regards this issue of election violence and people always fighting, people killing and maiming each other. It's becoming very alarming, very worrisome, and we need to talk about this. Are we not really getting enough education? What exactly are the issues? We are hoping that the National Orientation Agency will be there and will tell us more. Let's talk to Garba Wadadoka. Thanks for joining us on Galaxy today. Mr. Wadadoka, let's talk about election violence because if you go back and look at the campaigns so far before the elections were postponed, where we always hear reports of violence and people attacking each other, various political parties and the opponents, attacking themselves. How did we get here, and what do you think we can do to bring a stop to this particular recurrence?
Well, this violence here in Kano a lot of things has been done to cap out all these minors, especially with the help of security agencies, the police, the army, the DSS, and the National Security Agency, who are all out to enlighten the people on the dangers of this violence and the effects of this violence to our youth and to our society in general. So, to the great extent, with the new commissioner of police here in Kano, all these thanks, all those people who are fighting themselves on this political campaign, I think we are now having peace in Kano for this coming election, coming Saturday. So by God's grace, we're having a very peaceful atmosphere now. We're having a very peaceful atmosphere as the youth are now in control. There's no much violence all over as we're having it in different areas. And all the politicians that are going for their campaign now, they are going without any weapons, without any funds, without people being in fear. So the campaign is going peacefully.
So scenario and painted it so was specifically concerning Kano State. But let's just look across board and talk national right now, you know, because it is something that we need to talk about. And most of the times you find out that it is always the young people who are in the center of this whole skirmishes and fights and, you know, violence that we have during campaigns and rallies, you know. Is it that a lot of sensitization or inadequate sensitization was not really done? Or what is the issue? Or the people are just not really prepared to be peaceful? What exactly are the issues really?
If you look at the whole country, our national headquarters, our April DG, Dr. Garba Bari, has done a lot in a way where calling all the state directors in Abuja, where we all talk on this national security. And all the stakeholders on the national security, we are all there. We talk on the issues on how to curb the menace of this insecurity. And presently, in almost all over the country, the youth are our friends. Wherever we're having this violence or any gray area of this violence, our DG is able to go to that area, call the people involved, call the security agent, call anybody involved, especially the politicians, and talk to them on how they should conduct themselves in order to have peaceful atmosphere for this coming election. So all the officers in the whole country are all ready to see that no violence is taking place in anywhere in this country. So we are very grateful with our organization because as far as election is coming, we hope there won't be any violence. As a lot of sensitization is being going on and is continuously, and we are very grateful with these media houses that are helping us all over to spread all the messages. So we are very much assured the general public that peaceful atmosphere is around now. So there can't be any violence by God's grace for this coming election.
All right, Mr. Doka, before we let you go, one final question for you. I still just want to get the reaction of the National Orientation Agency concerning the President's call for stern measures for perpetrators of ballot box snatching. In your opinion, do you really think that particular call is a bit harsh, or is it adequate for people who might just want to perpetrate crime during election day?
Not harsh, because this is a country where we are living according to the rules and regulations. Especially on this coming election, a lot of sensitization has been done. Dangers of this box snatching, all these minors has been addressed to the general public. So I don't think there's any sense for anybody to come and disturb people during election, the extent of snatching this ballot box. So there's no any penalty or anybody who is causing this problem is not harsh. So we have to understand the law. We have to abide by the law, and then we can conduct ourselves peacefully. So I think the penalty is very appropriate for anybody who is involved in that such idea.
All right, thank you very much. We've been speaking with the Acting Director of the National Orientation Agency in Kano State, Garba Wadadoka. He joined us live from Kano, the state capital of Kano. Would you appreciate it? All right, back here in Lagos, we have our guest, a public affairs analyst and a chartered accountant, Lester Wilcox. Many thanks for joining us on Galaxy today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
All right, let's just get right into the topic. Let's just dive in proper. Election violence, you know. Can we ever do election campaigns, rallies to a point where no life will be lost, nobody will be harmed, and political parties across board, you know, would not really have that particular skirmish that we see almost every other time?
Well, so far, I think in this election area, we've not seen those campaign ground violence as much as we used to see them before. Some of the issues that occur were maybe poor management of space, like it happened in River State, and maybe it happened in Taraba and some other place.
Even in Ogun State, when the president visited.
No, that that one is violence at the campaign ground. And then the one that happened in Lagos, when Sanwo-Olu was launching his campaign. And that's the Ogun State one, which was as a result of friction between two factions of the same party. So that cross-party attack on each other at campaign grounds and rallies, I think we didn't see much of that this campaign period. And so I would submit that our democracy is maturing, and we are imbibing the civil culture. But voting day proper is what we should be concerned about, because that is really where majority of the violence takes place. Yes, in time past we've had rival groups attack each other on campaign grounds, which, like I said, we didn't see much of that. We didn't see a significant number of that, apart from maybe Kano, where the last speaker called from, where the Kwankwasai movement and the APC is at each other's throat. But across board, no, we didn't even see where people stone each other. Everyone went to do their campaign. So it's isolated incident. It's small. It happened, but it's quite small compared to what we used to have. So we are maturing. But what we should be looking at now is the D-Day, how politicians will conduct themselves, how the old habit, that is, the old habit dies hard, if the old habit will have died now, in terms of election day violence that always characterizes or mar the success of most of our elections. Okay, so
if I heard you correctly, you're saying that the violence that happened recently is not like what it used to be in the time past. So you're saying that if it continues this way, there's a tendency that in the nearest future we could actually have campaigns without violence.
Yeah, sure. The signs are there. The signs are there. Like I said, in Lagos, we only had that first day, and it was I think it was also intra-party.
Okay.
Yes, that what happened in Keja. I think it was also intra-party. Yeah, Ogun State was intra-party. Disagreements.
Yes.
No, so if we have it intra-party, it can be better managed or curtailed than we have inter-party.
Okay.
Now, we don't see if I have to be specific, we have not seen the PDP attacking APC members on campaign grounds or vice versa. Each of the parties have gone their campaign, done it as they want, get police protections. I mean, so if we continue at this stage and then the politicians continue to educate their followers as good conduct, how campaign, ground should be conducted, and all, I think we're heading towards something wonderful.
Okay, so I'd like to ask, to curb violence now, because I know there are some other things that have to be put in place to curb violence. But okay, I've heard people say that most of the rallies and campaigns are held wearing really rallies. people weren't sure of the manifestos, because I thought campaigns are to bring people together, you read out your manifesto and reasons why you should be voted for. And then say that each time this rallies, or the ones that happened recently, ends up probably in violence. Now, is it a job, or whose work is it to reorientate people concerning rallies, and what is expected, what role are the politicians, the aspirants now, what part are they to play when it comes to campaigns?
Yeah, generally, campaigns in our climb has always been a show of strength rather than a show of manifesto. A show of strength as to the fact that people want to get as much people to campaign ground just to show or to intimidate or to use it as kind of force against the other. So by so doing, you are going to bring in elements, mixed crowns and all kinds of elements that may not really share your ideology or what you stand for. So and that is part of why the campaign, some of the campaign ground violence takes place, because you have all manner of people. Well, we expect that campaigns should have, like you said, should be an avenue, not a carnival like we used to have. We have a lot of carnivals these days than campaign. A campaign rally should be a place where you come up, even if it is 50 people, 200 people, 1,000 people, to press home, and then the press, it's the major disseminator of your manifesto or information is the press. To what extent that the press gives you coverage, either paid or the free coverage. Not really for me, not really the massive number of people. At the campaign grounds. You know, if you see the campaign of the APC at the presidential level, the president doesn't speak for much. You understand? By the time he comes in, that's why he was able to hold 2-3 campaigns in the state in one day. By the time he comes up on stage, you see him utter his very, very few words, addressing key issues of what he wants to do. And he's not failing anybody in identifying these 3 areas that he's passionate about him. He talks about fighting corruption, he talks about what they call insecurity, telling about the Boko Haram, then talks about the economy. You know, so these are the 3 cardinal areas that he just comes in, say it, and precisely and concisely, and is off to the next area. Okay. Now his foot soldiers will be doing all the interpretations and the discussions and the clarifications and all whatnot. But he, as the president, he comes in, he gives you his 3 or 4 cardinal points, and he moves to the next state.
Okay.
So if we continue to treat campaign in that respect, and leaving out most of the funfair, the dancing, the awilo, and the dances, and yes, maybe that's also about bringing the crowd, but you also need the crowd. But really, if you bring in too many crowds from different diverse areas, the tendency of you having people who will infiltrate and create problems for you will be there.
Okay, fine. Just to remind viewers, don't call if you have questions. If you want to contribute to this program, just send an SMS. The number is on the screen right now. You can also interact with us on social media using the hashtag GalaxyToday. We still have guests in Oyo State. We have a former member of the Oyo State House of Assembly, Honorable Akinola Sikiru Ali. We'll be talking to him soon, but we will take a quick break. Just on Sunday, we're all aware of what happened with the issue of ballot boxes, and reactions are still trailing that particular statement by the president. And now the Independent National Electoral Commission is differing with the president over the deaths or call for death for ballot box snatchers. We'll take that report on INEC and we'll come back and talk some more. To join us again.
With the arrival and distribution of sensitive material, as well as the fires that gutted some of our offices in this commission, destroying several election materials. Once more, let me express our deep and sincere regrets as a commission for this time of events. We take full responsibility and acknowledge inconveniences and costs of the shift in dates, the citizens, political parties, and the community of election observers. No commissioner of the commission was picked up by any security agency. No house of any commissioner of INEC was raided. No any commissioner of INEC has been picked up by the security agencies. The particular commissioner you're referring to, whose name was mentioned in the social media, is, as we speak, in his office in the commission. Similarly, no 6 directors were picked up by any security agencies.
Because I was told of the decision of INEC about 4:35 in the morning. The way the security and other protocols mobilize people ahead and leave them behind when I'm moving, all the same, I had to just tell them I'm leaving, and I left. And I think my statement at the airport, I think said it all. And I don't want to go into too many details.
Their own voluntary decision. And it is difficult to accept that for all of those periods, the INEC did not know what ought to be where, at what time, in order to guarantee free and fair election. So the more explanations INEC chairman did, the more questions that were left unanswered.
All right, welcome back. It's still Galaxy. Today we're going straight to Oyo State. Honorable Akinola Sikiru Ali is a former member of the Oyo State House of Assembly, and he joins us to talk about key issues concerning security matters and, of course, how to curb the election violence in the country. Just to add that Honorable Akinola Sikiru was a member between 2011 and 2015. Many thanks for joining us on Galaxy today, Honorable Akinola. Let's just get your perspective. You've been in the legislature for a while, and you are aware of what the law says concerning election violence and, of course, ballot box snatching. I want to get your perspective concerning what is going on as reactions trail the call for stiff penalty for snatches of ballot boxes.
Thank you very much, moderator, and I appreciate your invitation to me. One, why must anybody in his right senses wants to get to a certain post by crook or crooked means? If you are really coming in to serve the populace, if you are really coming in to put in your service without looking back, why will you want to employ the unfortunate ones that don't even know their right from left to snatch ballot boxes? I believe the laws on ground are enough. It's just the enforcement. Let the enforcement agents, let them do it right. When you take, let me put it this way, when 2 or 3 examples, let's say from even 20 states in the Federation, are tried and sent to where they are supposed to be, people will sit up. And unfortunately, like the NOA man from Kano just said, there's so much enlightenment that in my own area, they said, whoever will be lost will be lost. I just want to appeal to our people that my fellow politicians, so to say, if your intention is to serve the people, you don't have to get there by all means, whether violent, close to violent, banner slashing, they are all against the law. Then 2, the electorate themselves. We all have our duty. When you vote, the most important thing is stay and see the end.
we don't really need to do it we and they. Stay and see the end. It's as if you have worked from day till 2, 3, and he said, just leave them. You don't leave them. Stay around. If 2 people comes around and meets about 270 people on ground, they will think twice before they do anything abnormal. That's my own advice to the electorate. And like I said earlier to the electoral umpire, let them be up and standing. The enforcement agents, let them do it right. The police, which are supposed to be the main enforcement. Army, fine, they're supposed to augment. It's the real job of the police. Thank you.
More input from you concerning other issues, but let's get Alistair's perspective concerning that particular issue.
Thank you, sir.
On the call for, the president said anyone who will or who tries to snatch ballot boxes on election day risk his or her own life. INEC is disagreeing. The electoral law stated about 24 months in prison for such violence. Don't you think the president's statement is enough to incite the people?
Well, Justin, thank you for you putting that statement clearly and in the intent of the president. That statement has been so. Now, the president spoke for about 5-7 minutes, and it's like everybody seems to have dropped everything that the president said and picked only one sentence, which is ridiculous about our kind of journalism, our kind of public commentary in this country. We just pick one word of the clear. So the beginning of that sentence, of the statement, the end of the statement is lost. And everybody begins to write theses, essays, and on one aspect, on just one line of the statement, which is very ridiculous and unfortunate. And I've said this on other media where I go to. We do this a lot, that we lost the import of messages that is being passed by leaders. And what still, they take it too much on APC. Maybe the press or whoever or the people are so much against APC that they're just looking for any loophole to take it on him. The same thing happened to El-Rufai. Let me just digress. When El-Rufai talked about interference with our elections and everything, and the man spoke for close to 10 minutes, I listened to the whole statement. And when he said body bag, every media house forget about the message El-Rufai was passing across, and they just pick on body bag.
But that was news, really.
No. What I'm saying is, as a molder of opinion, which the press, that the 40th of the realm, the molder of opinion, or we that are in the public space, talking to people and, molding people's opinion, we must be able to give a holistic and totalistic view on statement. Now, the president was very clear about it. And he said, if you are strong enough in your community, and you want to carry people to go and disrupt the election by snatching ballot boxes, it has dispensed their own life, and which is clear. So why will anybody raise an issue about that? The first thing was if. They didn't shoot anybody. And don't forget that this is the major dark spot of our election, of our voting day. And I talked about voting day violence. How does it occur? People don't go there and start fighting. You don't see people go there to fight. You don't even see polling agents of the different parties fight at polling booths. You see them drinking water together. It's only when the result comes out that each person begin to frown face. But go to polling booths and you see the agents, they are all. But it is this demonic element that is being sponsored by the politicians that will come. They don't come with their hands in their pockets. They don't come like friends. They come with weapons. They come with cutlasses. They come with machetes. They come with guns. They shoot at random to scare people away before they can snap ballot box. For goodness sake, are you telling me that violence does not beget violence if you start armed robbery? What is armed robbery? What is the penalty for armed robbery in this country today? So if you come to steal ballot box, if you come to carry ballot box and you are armed, because of course they don't go unarmed, so there is. So if you meet a stiffer resistance, and I begin to wonder those that said no, arrest them, take them because they have 24 years. Yes, 24 months. Yes, if you come peacefully, you can be arrested. But you cannot tell me that you have youth coppers, people's children in a polling booth. You have policemen, most of them, you know, I mean, they say policemen should not be armed. Most of them are armed. People's husbands and people's fathers and in polling booth. You have me and you, the innocent voters, in a polling setting, and a group of people who feel they are strong in their locality and their areas will come with guns and machetes, and then you said, oh, we should just wait because the electoral act said it is 2 years imprisonment and we should not do anything. The president is wrong to have said that. I think we don't understand what we are doing. It is the bad minds that will be talking of that. So if something will be a deterrent to anybody, let us apply the deterrent so we'll have a better election. Youth corpers from other states of the federation are used as polling clerks and orderly. Policemen are there, individuals are there, and then someone will carry a gun, a machete to come to steal ballot box, and then somebody is telling me that he should be. How do you arrest somebody with cutlass and machete, for goodness sake? If I have my way, God forbid, I'm not, but if I have my way to harm anybody that comes to me with a gun or a machete, I will do that first before waiting for the law to come and say 2 years or 3. If it's alive, then let us go for the 2 or 3 years. Because, and that's what the president is trying to say, because that is the dark spot of our electioneering day violence. That is the main thing. People come, snap ballot box, take them away. People come and disrupt polling. People come and they don't look. Do those that come for violence? They come with empty hands. Okay, they come with weapons.
So saying that that was what the president said, and saying, knowing that this is something that has been happening.
Yeah.
Do you not think that preventive measures should be put into place?
No,
so we don't cry after.
All the measures are there. There are policemen all over the place.
You said policemen without arms?
No. You see, those in the polling units are not supposed to be armed according to the electoral law.
Yes.
But those that are on strategic areas, you know, there are 2. I think I understand there are going to be 2. I think they've made it 3 now in polling units. Those are not supposed to be armed. But there are also people that are in strategic areas. For instance, if there's a polling unit here now, in this area, there will be a police patrol, a police team or army team, or maybe at the junction of areas there that can respond to eventualities. So that is the thing. So there are security measures has been put in place. Restriction of movement is part of security measures has been put in place. Yeah. A non-clustering of people, because even the electoral act does not allow people to cluster. It says vote and keep a reasonable distance from. You can stay and monitor your vote, but you keep a reasonable distance. All that is in place. They understand. But you see, there are those people who are hell-bent to create mayhem.
Miscreants.
They may not be miscreants. We're calling for a miscreant. They may not be miscreants. Not everybody can know how to shoot gun. Some people that shoot gun today, some analysts today are graduates, people of top echelon of society. So there are people who are hell-bent on doing that. And politicians in the areas they know they are either very strong and they don't want to position, they are ready for these boys, this kind of thing. And so the president is one. And let's also make something clear. He's not addressing one particular person. He addressed everybody, both APCO, PDPO, ADMO, PMCO, PPCO, LLBO, whatever party you are. He said whoever. So when you're going to carry ballot box, you're not going to wear a tag of PDP or a tag of APC. So the policeman or the security men that will intervene are not going to intervene because you are APC or PDP. Don't go and disrupt the sanctity of the process. Allow the process to run and let a winner emerge lawfully and legally. That is what the president is after, and he has promised Nigerians a free, fair, credible election. A far departure from what we used to have, a do or die system that we had, a discredited system that we used to have in this part. This president said he wants to put in place a formidable, free and fair electoral system, and he has shown it. He has not intervened in INEC. INEC is even against his party in Rivers State and Zamfara. His party, the APC, is not feeling candidate in Zamfara and Rivers State. It has never happened before. Could it never happen under passenger that you would deny his party a nomination, no matter what the offenses are? No, you can't even try it.
All right,
but this president has not interfered with INEC and wants things to run smoothly. If APC is denied participation in Rivers State and Zamfara State, 2 key states that will have been very, very similar for the president, and he has not intervened, he has not beaten anybody, he has not used his veto to say anything. Why would we trust this president to deliver a free and fair election and take every step necessary to ensure the sanctity of the progress of the process?
We'll take inputs. We'll go to Ibadan in a moment, but let's look at what our viewers are reacting right now, the way they are reacting. Election laws and campaign violence should be made a compulsory subject or part of civic education curriculum in secondary schools. This will enable them to be well informed and refuse to be used to incite violence by such politicians. Thanks. My name is Ujika Franklin from Makodi in Benue State. Good morning. I'm Rotimi from Sokoto. I'm in support of what Mr. President declared on those that will try to steal ballot box. I'm a member of the PDP. Good morning, please. A question to your guest. Are you saying that a leader can just come out without minding the constitution to just utter words? That's Adams from Kaduna. All right, the scripture says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. The president has no respect for the rule of law. Okay, you didn't state what your name is and where you are calling or writing from. Hi, Mr. Justin, thanks for your program. Tell your guest that direct speeches are not idioms. They don't need reinterpretation. Lester, you will react to that soon. Until there is issue-based political terrain and a raise in our value system across all structure, from the family front to our national net, and the ability to take responsibility for every action, we can't possibly change anything as a people. Then relief from Ebonyi State. Austin from Abule Egba says there is a parable that says small, okay, I can't use that language on air. Okay, you're still using some foul words I can't read on air. All right, truth is scarce in Nigeria. Why should anyone snatch a ballot box? As a good leader, that is not a good word to use and is trying to tell the world that the PDP supporters are in danger. All right, tell us your name and where you are writing from. Good morning, Powell. I support the president. God will keep him for saying the truth. Please, can you regulate your analyst to stay in course? He is digressing. All right, this one says, Peter from Bauchi. Don't call, just send SMSs. More than 2 million people ran away from the north because there was a fear that if a particular person did not win the election, there would be bloodshed and killings. Now, these 2 million would be ready to vote. They are devising means of putting fear again into them. Leadership must be who the people want. We'll take more reactions. Let's quickly talk to Honorable Akinola Sikiru Ali, a former member of your State House of Assembly. Honorable, you've been following this conversation. There's a message that came here. I'll read it in a bit, but let me just put it in another way. Let me paraphrase. He says the call for stiff punishment for people who would snatch ballot boxes is an indirect way of militarizing the elections. Do you agree?
Thank you very much, moderator. It's fortunate people are passing that kind of comment. The most important thing is, why would people want to be involved in crime and don't want punishment? It's awkward. It's awkward for crying out loud. Like I said earlier, why would anybody want to snatch ballot? Because you want to serve. And again, like I said earlier, there are penalties on ground. It's just left for the security agents to carry them out. The president coming out to say, asking for more or giving more directive is just like you've cooked a soup, you've added salt, added everything, and somebody say add more water. To me, let the security agents do their job and get scapegoats. And on another note, right here in Oyo State, let's come down to Oyo State. I want to say that in the last 8 years of this present administration of Senator Isaac Ajimobi, we have enjoyed relative peace, unalloyed relative peace. Itato, when before we came in 2011, Iwo Road precisely and some other areas are no-go areas. You have to phone people, can I pass through Iwo Road? For the last 8 years, we've not had that. we have relative peace. And I want every other state to copy that. So we are expecting the same here in Oyo State. In Oyo State, we live as a family. And in any community, they say two parents, father and mother, give birth to a child, but it's the whole community that takes care of the child. And that works very well here. And I want to give it to the past, the last 3 commissioners of police here. They've really done well. And I want to equally praise the last one. The CP that we have now is not taking chances. Same with the AIG that's covering Oyo, Osun, and Ondo. He was here as a CP before, and I know he knows the pros and cons of Oyo State. He will deploy his boys. Violence in Oyo State, I can assure you, will be minimal. Very, very minimal. I won't say we won't have isolated cases, but I can say we are up to the task. The police here are up to the task. Moreover, my own party as a progressive, we don't believe in this do or die. Showcase what you have. Showcase what you want to do. And let the populace decide. So people having the notion of do or die, they should have a rethink. And with the directive from the president, I think people will sit tight. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We've been speaking with Honorable Akionla Sikiru Ali from Oyo State. He is a former member of the Oyo State House of Assembly. Many thanks for joining us on Galaxy today. Alex, I just want you to react to some of the comments that were directed towards you.
Yeah, which one?
Okay, for instance, one says, good morning. Please ask your guest this question. Are you saying that a leader can just come out without minding exactly what the constituents said just to utter it?
No, there's no uttering. There's no alteration in what has been said. It's within the ambit of the law to deal with anybody that is violent. Okay. If there's a violent crime, you don't go to, you don't send policemen with baton to go and arrest a man with AK-47 and cutlasses. You're endangering the life of those policemen. You don't see where there are youth coppers, innocent youth coppers that are to be protected by the government in a situation, and you tell people, and then people that are carrying guns and machetes to come and attack them, and you said, oh, go and look, whatever measure that is taken, so long as they want to commit a crime, be ready for the consequences. He has just, the president has given except this man wants to, except whoever asks the question wants to, or he's a ballot box snatcher, or he's been paid, or he wants to make money from snatching ballot box, then in that case, you are not putting yourself in a position where you will be meted out with the punishment or whatever the person has said. If you don't snatch ballot box, why are you afraid? So why should we even defend ballot box snatchers? Why should we even contemplating defending such or saying, okay, we don't support it though, at the same time, the president should not have said so? No. The thing was clear. If you are strong in your locality and you want to carry talks to go and destroy the election, you will pay. So that is clear. It is as clear. So, sir, if you are strong enough and you know or you've been paid, or you want to be paid, or you offer yourself to be paid to transfer ballot box, there is consequences. So you better dissuade yourself from that idea now, so that you don't meet with the consequences. So that is non-negotiable. Our elections must be properly conducted, and we must have a credible election.
Okay, what did the president do when the APC murdered each other at, Sonwolusa? Okay, this is inauguration now. What inauguration? I don't get this. Maybe rally.
No, but I said that.
Okay.
Nobody murdered each other. I said it was inter-party violence. Yes, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen at the cost of going to vote. It's a campaign ground thing, which I have addressed that before. Do you expect and sometimes we just ask some childish questions all over. Some childish commentaries. You expect the president to be in every campaign ground or anywhere that there is a violence or anywhere, the president should issue a specific instruction in that area? Look, let's not belittle our president and our country and the institutions of our country. Look, something happened, an armed come to your house, now God forbid it, and then you're not saying, why was the president when an armed came to your house? Do you understand? So let's not be childish about this issue. These are serious national issues. If there was violence in Somolu's campaign launch, the police was there to deal with it. Nobody anticipated such violence. I mean, the police is there to deal with it. Things happening in Kano between the Kwakwasai movement, the PDP and the APC. The police and other agencies are dealing with it. This is a clear-cut message on election day, because we know what has happened. Look at the embarrassment of what happened on Friday, on this last Friday about the elections. And so many what do you call it, theories are coming out, so many propagandas that, oh, it was because some people was bribed, it was this logistics, so many things are just going up and up and oh, this one want to read, that one want to read. So we don't want that to happen again. We don't want to say whereby our youth corpus will be put in jeopardy, the last of the people will be put in jeopardy. We don't want to say whereby the last of the voters who will queue up to vote will be put in jeopardy. We don't want to say whereby our policemen who are not going to be armed in the police booth will be put in jeopardy. We want to have a relaxed environment. Look, in other parts of this world, I have been in the UK like on 2 occasions when people went during voting. Nobody shut down the system. People go to work, come back. In fact, in one of the days, I traveled from London to Scotland. I mean, I got there about 4 o'clock. They are still voting. I didn't know that I was participant, just as a normal visitor. Nobody comes about to carry guns and machetes and everything. But here, you want to shut down because of, to curb violence. We want to shut down the whole country. We have to shut down everybody so that there will be relatively secure environment for you to cast your vote. Yet, people still want to manipulate, wants to show that they are strong, want to carry arms to go and stand ballot boxes. I think anybody who is supporting that kind of thing or speaking against the president, in fact, must be those who are planning to carry such acts.
Looking forward now, I mean, it looks like most of the security measures we have now, what is what they used in the past, and it felt like violence prevailed to an extent, and now they're trying to curb it again. Do you think there's 1 or 2 more things that needs to be added to actually see that we can have a total free and fair election without violence?
Well, the thing that needs to be added is the education part of it by the political parties.
Okay.
And a mental reform by the office seekers. In time when we had this staggered election like we had in Osun, or we could mobilize all the security assets into one environment. You can put toe to toe every policeman around the environment. Like for instance, I think in Osun about 30,000 were used, same to Ekiti. When I put in Anambra, the same thing, Bayelsa, all those. But we are having a national election, of which you cannot mobilize all the security assets into one particular location. You spread them evenly, because there's election in all the 36 states of the federation. You spread them evenly. So you will not have that heavy presence that you have if it is just a one-off election. So that is where the politicians needs to also help the country. Look, a country like Ghana has left us politically, because I don't understand why we will allow Ghana to be dictating political pace. Yes, they copy, if it is like this kind, they copy it from us. But in terms of conduct and elections, you see that the elections are so credible now that you hardly have litigations that follows it. But in Nigeria, even when it is glaring to the blind that you have lost the election, because lawyers want to eat money, they will instigate you. Please go and file a case. We will fight this matter. And they're looking for what? Technical judgment, technical victory. They're looking for substantive victory. So we need to really know what we want for our country and ourselves. Politicians have a great role to play in helping security agencies to get to the level where on election day, markets will be opened. People will go about their business, just go to the polling booth, cast their vote, and then
in addition to what you said, do you think our religious leaders have a part to play in this?
Yes,
because I see that a lot of people, Nigerians, are moved by ethnicity and religion. Do you think they have a part to play in this?
Thanks for bringing this up. The unfortunate thing is I feel so sad, disgusted, taken aback by the roles religious leaders have played build up to this election.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, they have fueled the danger, they have fueled the violence, they have fueled the tension.
You think so?
Yes, because most religious, especially I'm a Christian and I'm talking about the Christian faith. We've lost it, sincerely. Because it's such a whereby leaders that use their pulpit to campaign for particular candidates and placing costs on who didn't vote for that candidate. It happened in Ibadan last Sunday in a Baptist church. So you discover that these are men that are so what they call it, the pulpit is supposed to be sacrosanct. I'm a Christian. It's supposed to be sacrosanct. But when you turn that pulpit to a campaign ground and biased campaign ground, campaigning for a particular party, and placing curses on your members who vote contrary, I think they've lost it. And Christianity has really, really lost, and we need to trace our footsteps back.
So how do you think they should
we need to come back to the area of morality. Religious leaders are meant to preach, to be neutral, preach peace, embrace just like what the traditional leaders. You discover that traditional leaders are even better. If you see that if a PDP candidate goes to them, they will receive him blessing. If a APC candidate goes to them, they will receive him blessing. What happened behind the scene is different. What happened behind these chambers are different. But at least in the show of public, which our religious leaders, our Christian leaders have failed to imbibe. And I don't know what is paining them about this government. Whatever thing that's paining them about this government, I think they need to point themselves about it.
All right,
because it's wrong for you to use that pulpit to be campaigning for a particular party and placing costs on your members against the other party. It is wrong.
Just one out of.
Okay, all right. This one says, good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Presenter, whatever that means. Adebanjo Adekunle is my name. The president's speech of to curb election violence is the right one. If I am the president, I will do more. Good morning, Justin Odinga from Asaba. What the president said is okay by me. Stop calling Justin, send us an SMS. It is just to keep democracy intact in Nigeria. Just to find solution to it because it is affecting us, the citizens. I would like to advise INEC that they should provide good security to protect the ballot box. Thank you. All right. Justin, please tell your guests there is electoral law regarding the ballot box snatching. The voter should face the law, not Mr. President's order. Ima from Kaduna State. All right, one or two more, so just call it a morning. Concerning ballot snatching, INEC has in place factors leading to cancellation of polling unit. Therefore, whatever President Buhari said was needless, hence the INEC boss reaction. I think Mr. Wilcox is a Buhari die-hard fan, hence sees no need to truly analyze his speech. Good morning, my name is Justice Obochi from Ebonyi State. I am against the statement of the President. He should allow the electoral offender be punished according to the rule of law. Security personnel should be situated in every part of the country and restrictions of movement. Okay, I really don't get that. My husband traveled to Bono. Okay, wow, this is personal. The president, lots of them. I'm just trying to see.
Okay, why you go through
the president only made a strong statement just to challenge INEC to be on their feet. Let's be mature. Pastor David Samuel. Okay, I think we are completely out of time. I can't take any more.
Now, I will just tell the man from Kaduna, please don't go snatch the ballot box. Okay. If you have the intention to, please don't do it. It is treasonable, and in my face.
Okay, but before we just round up, I just wanted to also clear this that which the president said, if you think you're strong and you snatch the ballot boxes, aside from the fact that the person will face the penalty, how about security who are positioned there to see that this doesn't happen? Do they not have same penalties to face as well, or are they just going to be?
No. The security will always do their work.
Okay.
They will always do their work, but it don't tell me that if a policeman that is having baton is sitting down looking at the ballot box, which they always do, and then somebody comes with an AK-47, that he will just be there, be looking and say, oh, don't carry, and then arrest him. It's impossible. Something more drastic needs to be done. He either carry the ballot box, hit the policeman in protecting to run. Of course, he endanger his own life. So let's not endanger anybody's life in this election.
Please react to this, because I think it's Emeka from Ghana just sent in this one. The Nigerian police shoots people at random without order. It says, now that the president has made this statement, don't you think they'll go about shooting innocent people?
Nigerian police, just like American police, just like Ghana police, just like British police, there are always collateral damage. They shoot people at random. We've seen it in America. I'm not supporting that. I condemn any extrajudicial killing. No police officer will go and shoot anybody in a polling unit. I can assure you that if there is no violence, if there is nobody that wants to threaten the peace, I'm sure. I mean, on elections day, just think, I'm sure you're coming on. I vote in a station, in a polling booth. So, and I've never seen any policeman come there to shoot anybody because nobody has snatched ballot box in my polling unit. where I vote.
All right,
anybody who wants to do
go.
it, they should not do it. They want to do it, please. Also be prepared that there are consequences that are attached to violence, because you are violent. So when you are violent, violence begets violence. So
all right, thank you so much.
Don't endanger policemen, don't endanger the voters. Go there, vote, and go away.
All right, our guest in Lagos has been Lester Wilcox. He is a public affairs analyst, and he has given us perspective concerning curbing election violence and, of course, the issue of ballot box snatching, which has become very controversial. We also have guests in Oyo State, Honorable Akinola Sikiru Ali, a former member of Oyo State House of Assembly.
Yes, and of course, we had Garba Wadadoka from Kano State, an acting director for NOA in Kano. I want to say big thanks for being part of this show. And of course, for you who sat back to enjoy this, we'll be back by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Make it a date with us. I am Uche Onyekuluje. Bye for now.
And I'm Justin Academy. A big thank you to all of our crew outside Lagos, and of course to all of you who have contributed to this particular show. We do appreciate it. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.